I mean, Pixar are coming out with more sequels now than they are original content, which is sad to see.
This is because of Bob Iger becoming back in the saddle, basically, because he wasn't, was he? He let go of the. Yeah. He basically retired and came back out of retirement because they were doing quite kind of poorly, I think, shareholder wise. And actually, they had a regression in terms of they're not making as much content, but they're now like worshipping the cinema more than streaming, which is what they were doing when Bob Chapek was in charge.
Yeah, I think the downfall of Disney was as soon as Disney Plus came into the field of view.
Disney Plus was not just a reaction to streaming; it was a reaction to COVID as well, in a way, wasn't it?
Yeah,
because
it made sense for them to do it, but I think they focused too much on it over, like you said, the cinema experience.
Oversaturation has led to their kind of downfall a bit.
Yeah.
But like you say, they've gone hard. D24, I think it was, wasn't it?
Yeah,
23. D23.
I think it's just not. It's always called D23, isn't it?
No, it's the year, isn't it?
I don't think it is. Is it?
I think it's based on the year.
Oh,
D23. 2024 announcement. Maybe it is. Maybe it's the 23rd. It might be the 23rd one. I don't know. Anyway.
Comment down below.
God damn it, you film pundits, guys. What are you doing? Yeah. They've announced a lot of sequels.
Yeah. I've got a list here.
Go on,
and
go through it.
These aren't all of them either. So you got Moana 2.
Moana 2, I can 100% see why they're doing that.
It makes sense. And I'm not attached to that project.
They're also doing a live action with Dwayne Johnson.
Which I find a bit odd that they're doing both those at the same time.
Yeah.
Again, you're almost in 1 year going to be sick of Moana.
I'm not really a fan of the live action remakes of the Disney cartoons. I mean, I saw Beauty and the Beast. I saw Jungle Book. I saw Cinderella, Lion King.
Yeah.
Some of them are okay.
I don't think I've seen many, if any at all. I saw The Lion King, I think, and obviously that was devoid of any facial expression or emotion.
It reminds me of that remake of Psycho that was made, and it was just shot for shot. Like, if you're going to do that, what's the point?
Yeah. And while talking about Lion King, Mufasa, a prequel, and I saw that trailer come out, and it's interesting.
I haven't seen the trailer, but I can get behind that because it's a different story.
It's a different story that no one has really seen before, or at least I haven't. Avatar 3, Fire and Ash.
Oh God!
Do you like Avatar?
I love it, mate.
Yeah.
Nobody. You know what? People rewrite history and they say, "Yeah, I wasn't that fan of Avatar when it came out or whatever." Avatar was the biggest film of all time.
It like figures wise, yes.
Yeah.
You know, popularity,
reception,
yes.
And I was worried when Avatar 2 came out that it had been too long, that people wouldn't care. It still did insanely well. It still did over 2 billion.
I think it's because people were like, despite it being so long, because the first one was so big in its technological advancements. Everyone also felt obliged to go to Avatar 2. So I'm very interested to see how Avatar 3 does.
Did you like Avatar 2?
I thought it was all right.
I just still loved it. I still loved it.
I thought it was insane to look at.
Way of Water,
and the story was, they returned, I guess. But
okay. Admittedly, the story wasn't the best, but it was kind of centered around like the water tribe, wasn't it? And
it looked amazing,
life, and it just transports you to another world. So
I love
much thought and detail goes into that creation of that world.
I love like the creativity behind that world. Like that is, you cannot fault it on that. It's just, and I think it was a problem with many people with the problem of the first film as well. It was just the story. I think you look at the epicness of and the world building, and it's 10 out of 10 on that front, but then the story is kind of generic in both.
It's like a lot of it's a common trope, that story. Not trope. It's a common narrative archetype, isn't it? It's like Last of the Mohicans. It's like somebody goes into a tribe, kind of becomes part of that family and culture, and then tries to help them. But the part I didn't like about the second one was the antagonist. They just brought him back to life, as a Na'vi.
clone.
Yeah.
He was basically a clone, wasn't he?
Yeah.
But Avatar: Fire and Ash.
That's what it's called, by the way.
Yeah.
It was called The Seed Bearer.
Yeah, it was. I remember.
But I remember when I heard that title, I was like, that's not going to play well
Sounds
with
weird.
people, I don't think.
Yeah.
But Fire and Ash.
The title alone makes me interested in the story more so than the first two.
And the little mini kind of title art as well with the red A in the background.
Yeah.
Allegedly, rumour says that there's a new tribe of antagonistic kind of Na'vi that are like the fire people, and they're red.
Hopefully, they're red, and I hopefully they fly dragons, mate. Because there are no dragons in them.
Volcanic kind of setting. Because we had the water tribe, we had the original people in the floating mountains and the jungle, and now volcanic people.
It's just I'm excited about it because it's going to be a new antagonist, and we need it in the Avatar world. We've already had the same antagonist. So it's a little bit lackluster.
But something needs to happen in this film, narrative wise, with the daughter, because she's got a weird connection to the planet, hasn't she?
Yeah,
or Pandora, and also
Sigourney Weaver.
She's played by Sigourney Weaver, isn't it? Which I was mind blown at. Yeah. But also Channing Tatum's character, I feel like he needs to die in this film.
Channing Tatum?
Not Channing Tatum. Talking about Channing Tatum. Sam Worthington, in other words, a Channing Tatum clone. He is a clone. I
was like, hang on a minute.
He's a clone of Channing Tatum, Sam Worthington.
Channing Tatum could have been in this movie. You never know.
Did you know that actually it was meant to be... what's his name? God. Why is his name going back? Jason Bourne.
Matt Damon.
It was meant to be Matt Damon. Yeah, he turned down a percentage of the film's gross as the paycheck, and apparently he turned down the most money ever for a role. Little did he know. Well, he was like blue people flying around.
It's not like he didn't turn it down because he turned it down because it would clash him with another project of his that he was contractually bound to.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I saw an interview with him, and he said I just couldn't do it, but. He said that his earnings from Avatar would have paid off that contract tenfold. Yeah,
the pain.
But yeah, moving on to a topic that I really want to talk about is Toy Story 5.
It doesn't sound right, man. Toy Story 5.
Right, listen. Like, everyone's going to go and watch it. I'm going to go watch it. You're going to go watch it.
Did you see 4 at the cinema?
I saw 4 at the cinema. I've seen
I saw 4 on streaming. I didn't see it at the cinema.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, I went to see it at the cinema. Toy Story is a part of our childhood.
Yeah, it is. And number 1 is a masterpiece. Number 2 is a masterpiece.
Number 3 is actually really good.
Really good. Number 4, I can't really remember it, but what I do remember is the end, because I found the ending heartbreaking.
Is that when Woody leaves?
They split up and they go their separate ways. And I thought, do you know what? I thought the ending to number 3 was pure poetry, and I thought it was great. Yeah. But I thought if you are going to have an end to a franchise, number 4 is a pretty good one, to be fair.
Yeah, I thought that at the time as well. I haven't seen 4 in so long, since it came out in the cinema, that I can't really remember it and whether it's worth it or not, because I remember
Keanu Reeves played a random stunt bike driver, didn't he?
And there was Forky as well, who was funny. But Toy Story 5, the synopsis is Woody, Buzz, Jesse and the rest of the gang's job get exponentially harder when they go head to head with an all new threat to playtime technology. And there's a concept art. There's a concept art of them all at the foot of the bed looking at this child underneath the sheets staring at an iPad.
Well, I tell you what, that is a great. I already think that they're going to do fantastic things.
It's a great concept, and I actually thought Toy Story 4 was going to be that.
Yeah,
I heard rumblings when Toy Story 4 was in the works that it was going to be that.
Well, I heard rumblings for this that it was going to be like Andy as an older guy trying to nostalgically collect his old toys and with his own kid or something like that.
That's interesting.
But this is way better because I think what everyone knows what Pixar are like with their emotionally pulling at the heartstrings. You can do so much with this kind of concept of just kids vacantly staring at the things, a piece of technology that just ruins their attention span, ruins their kind of imagination.
It's social commentary, isn't it?
And with kind of the adult perspective that came in Inside Out 2 when you gave your little review, and how as an adult you can take so much from it.
Yeah,
they could do so much here.
And I think
So
obviously
you've brought me round, Sean.
Pixar as well. They've got a lot of there's lessons learned in their things, and they teach kids a lot. So I'm hoping that they find a way to teach kids who watch Toy Story 5 to step away from the screen and to focus on what's in front of you. Rather than what's on the screen.
Kind of like fun, family, imagination, freedom, and exploration.
Yeah, and I've seen a lot of people online actually are a bit annoyed because they're like, "Well, Woody, Buzz, and Jessie. Woody left at the end of the last one.
Yeah, because he's in the art there, but you don't know how they get back together.
But that just ruins the ending of 4. What was the point in 4?
Do you think that as well?
Well, I'll see what they come up with, because it's Pixar. Pixar are geniuses.
We don't know. As long as they don't start the story.
What's the point of 4?
As long as they don't start the story and they're all together with no explanation. They will have to explain it.
Yeah. But
they come to. It says they come together, I think, doesn't it?
And the rest of the gang's jobs get exponentially harder when they get.
They'll seek each other out for something. Yeah. But I don't have a problem with. I know I said at the start I did, but actually you've won me over, and I don't have a problem with Pixar making sequels, because actually, if you look at their track record,
they've got good
they're
sequels.
Insane, and they don't do it that often. Only for Toy Story. The only other one that they'd done poorly is obviously Cars, but I didn't never watch Cars 3, but I heard it pulled it back and was quite good, or okay. But
now,
have they done any other sequels?
Well, Incredibles 2, which leads
us to the next topic.
Incredibles 3. has
been
so nice.
Excited, man.
Are you excited?
I am. And actually, I think I said it in a previous podcast, I was a bit disappointed with Incredibles 2.
Yeah.
Because obviously you're never in the same place as when you were a kid and you watch it and there's all that nostalgia. But I think there was so much more, there was a lot more, there were more clever directions that they could have taken that film in. And it's still Brad Bird that's come out and said this and directing it. I'll tell you what I was hoping for Incredibles 2, and then you can tell me what you think about this. So I really wanted them to do a big time jump, because the best thing about The Incredibles wasn't the fact that they're superheroes.
It's the family dynamic.
It's the family dynamic, and they work so well together, and they're trying to save each other, but they also fall out and fight and all this sort of stuff. And so I wanted them to go forward maybe like 10 years, maybe even more than that.
See how they were,
maybe
like
even 20 years.
As like granddads and...
Yeah, and have the main two as grandparents, the two kids as superheroes, and then like Jack is like the best, like Superman basically.
Yeah.
He doesn't need anybody else. Everyone else is redundant because he's so good. But they have to come back together as a family.
Or maybe Jack turns evil.
Maybe, yeah. But I wanted that time jump because it's about family dynamics and how you cope and deal with growth and change and things as a family. Yeah. I know it sounds deep for a cartoon, but it is.
No.
It is about.
Pixar is deep, and I get what you mean. I remember liking Incredibles 2. I can't really remember it, which is probably a bad thing.
There was like some kind of... There were heroes that were kind of... Were they different, or they were disabled?
There was just a lot more heroes.
I
found it similar to like Kick-Ass 2, where they just got everyone, had loads of heroes came into the picture. But with Incredibles 3, I think Jack becoming the villain would actually tug on your heartstrings even more, because it's about the family trying to make Jack see them again and pull back to the light, almost like a Star Wars themed dark side, light side type of deal.
That, but I don't see them going for the time jump. I don't see them. And I think part of that is brand characters, and you got them in the parks, you've got them in the games, all sorts of different things.
Yeah, no, I agree. But Incredibles 3, I'm not that excited for it.
I am. I still am.
I think, and the reason why I'm so not that excited about it is, where else could they take it when in a world that is just, I'm just so tired of superhero movies. Do you know what I mean? What new ideas? But animation can go.
It's what people have said though. People aren't tired of superhero films. They're just tired of bad stories. Yeah. And if you have a great family drama where they just so happen to be superheroes.
Yeah.
You can make it really good. And that's what the first one was. It was that family drama, but it was also that cool kind of little spy espionage thing, thriller at the start as well, wasn't it?
It was. But I'll just list all of these. We won't go through all of them, but you've got Zootopia 2, you've got Frozen 3, you've got Mandalorian and Grogu announced. Captain America, obviously, Fantastic Four, obviously.
Which they did show, they were sitting around the table and they showed a little clip, which looked quite good.
Freaky Friday 2, Lilo and Stitch live action, man. Now I'm actually excited about that.
In terms of live action, that one doesn't look too bad.
And yeah, I saw the animation of obviously Stitch, and I used to watch that all the time as a kid. So I think I might watch that.
When are they gonna do the live action Emperor's New Groove, man? Or Treasure Planet or Atlantis?
Treasure Planet. I think they definitely will be doing that in the next like 5 to 10 years.
You think so?
100%. Snow White.
Going through all the big ones first. Aren't they? Snow White is already going to be one of these films that is getting deliberately kind of bombed when it's not even out, when nobody's hardly even seen it. It's
because of the actress.
They've seen the design. They've seen the design, but it's because of Rachel Zegler, I think, and
she made some
Hispanic,
comments.
I think.
She made some comments.
I think it's because she's Hispanic, or
oh really?
Yeah, when they're saying she's not kind of white.
Oh.
But she might have made some comments, but I don't remember seeing that.
Yeah.
But
and then you've got the Tron sequel.
Yeah, which
I never saw the
Tron Legacy, man. Is such an underrated film. I think.
You like it, did you?
Yeah, I never saw the original Tron. In fact, we were gonna react to that I was gonna choose it in a sci-fi playlist that we were doing.
Yeah.
But Jeff Bridges is coming back. He was in the original Tron, and he was in Tron Legacy.
Yeah.
And the main character is being played by Jared Leto, which I'm not really a fan of.
Yeah.
I mean,
sick
I
of
think
Jared Leto. He's a bit full of
okay,
himself, isn't he?
And he's a good actor, but I never rated him as the Joker in Suicide Squad either.
No.
But we'll see where it goes. Apparently the narrative of this film is like the game world is coming into the real world, so it's the other way around.
So Jumanji.
Yeah, basically, but more dark and of a dramatic. And Daft Punk did a massively famous, amazing soundtrack to Tron Legacy.
Okay.
But
do you think they'll be coming back for this one?
Nah, it's been announced that Nine Inch Nails are doing it. They could do a good soundtrack, I think.
Okay.
But yeah, without seeing anything, I don't know what to...
No.
I can tell you now, the film won't do well and it won't be received well, but it probably will be
depending on what the trailer, what atmosphere the trailer brings.
Yeah.
Which, by the way... Sorry, were you going to say something about Tron?
I was just going to say who the director is. He's someone that Disney keep going to. He's called... Joachim Roning, I think. That's Joaquin Roning, I think. Roning. I don't know how to pronounce his name. I'm butchering it. But he directed that 5th Pirates of the Caribbean film.
Which I didn't mind, you know. What, the Salazar's Revenge?
Yeah, in America it was called Dead Men Tell No Tales, which I thought was a way cooler one. He also directed Maleficent 2. Which I thought got good reviews. Yeah, and there's a foreign language film called Kon-Tiki that I really want to see that got him like as a big film kind of director. But yeah, I mean, if they're bringing like the game world into the new world, you know, that'll attract young audiences. And if the trailer looks epic, then that'll bring on new audience as well.